I think this Memphis team is a good football team, like I've said all year. But if they don't turn the football over in this game, flat out don't turn it over, and don't have the type of penalties that we've seen, this could be a close football game. This is not a bad offense. Defense, on the other hand, maybe they are a little bad, but this is a situation where we might be able to keep up with Crompton.
Well, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here. If any team doesn't turn over the football or cuts back on turnovers and everything like that, I mean, they're a good team. So the fact that Memphis has done those things kind of speaks otherwise, and it pains me to say that, but I mean the facts are the facts. If you can't hold on to the football, you're not a good team.
Yeah, I keep thinking in the games that we've played this season, it's been our own mistakes, and what I was saying, and Andrew and I just kind of agree on this, it's just turning the football over. Keep yourself into the game, and you never know what kind of game you're going to get from Tennessee's quarterback, Crompton. We have seen two this whole season where he has lived up to the hype that they expected him to be, and every other game he's basically almost thrown it away, but his defense has kept him in there. So you just have to figure that out. But for Memphis, one thing, just make turnovers and stop the run against Hardesty, because he's rushed for 841 yards already. So it's a big task, but if Memphis can get up for it and not turn over the ball, you never know what can happen.
I'll mention this too. Sorry, Andrew, not to cut you off, buddy. Memphis has had several long, methodical drives all season that they haven't been able to finish. And if they can finish some of those drives this Saturday against Tennessee, they're going to stay in the game a lot longer and once again have a chance to make it a competitive match. That's when they tend to get excited, during these long 80-yard drives. I don't know if the guys get tired or nervous or what it is, but they start committing penalties, or we get in the situation where we see a turnover. I think those are going to be crucial. They've got to put points on the board on long drives.
All right, well, let's talk rivalry. Of course, this is a big one. Guys, talking about the Tennessee-Memphis series, it was always the situation where Tennessee was our biggest rival, but it wasn't necessarily the other way around. Of course, Tennessee having their own SEC rivals. But what we've seen over the past 5 years, it was due to basketball, there's no question. We've had some great games with them. Of course, the 1-2 matchup here at the Forum last year at their place, phenomenal game down the stretch. This rivalry has heated up between Memphis and Tennessee in all sports, and a lot of fans are excited. I know a lot of fans are going to make the trip down. Not only that, but you know that Tennessee, one of their biggest recruiting grounds, is right here in the Memphis Mid-South area. So a lot of players play on that Lane Kiffin Ball Club from Memphis. So you better believe it's going to be an emotional game for both of these teams.
Yeah, and I think I'll agree with you on that. I think it's just a mixture of kind of interest. I mean, where players have come from. A lot of them have elected to go to Tennessee, partly because, it's an SEC school, more money, more scholarships, and then when you come as opposed to a Conference USA school, but then that kind of fires Memphis up, or a smaller school like this, in any rivalry. And I'll agree with you. I think in basketball it's a totally different story, and I'm looking forward to the game on New Year's Eve this year in basketball season. But haven't played Tennessee in a while in football, so I mean I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, SEC game at night at Neyland Stadium, 120,000. So there's a lot of things on the plate for Memphis. They just need to focus on the ball game.
I agree, and I know it pains Tennessee that they dominate us in every other sport except basketball, and they use that as a, just an excuse to whoop us and in everything else. So don't get cocky, Tennessee. You can't get cocky. I mean, that's why you play the game, because anybody can win. So hopefully that'll play into the Tigers' hand.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the keys for Memphis is Tennessee has to be down on their guard a little bit for Memphis to have a realistic shot at this one.